The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. This is my Sunday night edition. It's a 2-hour show, remember, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. and Tuesday night from 8:10 to 9:10. But I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you the 2 shows a week. What a day, huh? What a day. And what a show tonight. I believe, in fact, I know that my 2 guests tonight, who are not only my best friends, okay, but they are very well versed in ufology, UFOs, aliens, and all kinds of good stuff. And they accepted my invitation. I didn't have to twist their arms. Okay, Joni, good to see you. Didn't have to twist their arms. I just simply was nice to them. And they said, sure, we'll do it. Not a problem. But before I go on, before I introduce them, tomorrow's Memorial Day. Hey, Lisa Kirk, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm smiling. See? Good. I'm glad you popped in, Lisa. But tomorrow's Memorial Day, okay? And everyone's going to be out if it don't rain. Everyone's going to be out having a party, a picnic, you know. So what is there to celebrate about Memorial Day? What is it? Just a day off? You know? No. It's not just a day off. It's not a day to have a party. Hey, miss. You know, it's not. The real meaning behind Memorial Day is that we memorialize all the men and women who fought in all the wars. So you could have the opportunity to have that picnic. And then they fought and they died. For what? So you could have your freedom. Yes. And now Lisa says to honor those who sacrifice everything for us. Yes, Lisa. And they did. It was a major, major sacrifice. And then you got in today's world where they scream, where people who really don't understand what the hell, is going on. They get mad because we go and do a conflict over in Iran, Middle East, whatever. It's just ridiculous. So I'm going to give you some figures here. I looked them up before the start showed. Okay. Do you know from the Revolutionary War all the way up to Iraq and Afghanistan, do you know how many people gave their lives, guys and girls? 1,339,624 at all the wars. And you spit on their graves. So I pray that I don't see you spitting on their grave. Because I will kick your ass. 1,339,624 men and women died. Not because you can have blue or purple hair and scream and yell and want this and want that. So instead of the picnics, instead of the barbecues, why don't you just give them an hour tomorrow and reflect and pray for them? Pray for their families. Don't just go around causing a bunch of shit. As a retired, Heidi, as a retired, not retired, but since I was in the military, I was in the Navy, it really, really pisses me off when I see people just, do stupid things. Honor the veterans tomorrow who passed, who fought for our country. Honor them. Now, I had to say that, had to get it out. But now to the show, okay? So again, like I said at the beginning, I have a great show tonight. I have two of my best friends on, and it's going to be a great show. And they're going to kill me because I really keep forgetting what the name of their show is on Wednesday night. They're going to kill me when they get on, but they'll tell you what their show is on Wednesday. To me, to be honest with you, I believe, honestly, they are two of the most knowledgeable people when it comes to UFOs and aliens and what other bullcrap is out there in the universe. Hey, Kara. So without further ado, my two guests and my two best friends, Mr. Doomsday J, and Mr. Joe Montaldo. If he take off his mic.
Joe, I don't hear any snoring.
You have reached the recording. Please leave your message and your name and number, and I will return your call as soon as possible.
You are now on the air.
You guys are on the air, man. And he Heidi says, good evening, Joe and Jay. And that's funny. Oh, God, here we go again. Joe and Jay.
Well, What is with this little screen over here? You just trying to drive me batshit crazy with this thing?
What do you mean?
Oh,
I don't. I
just-
Well,
didn't-
you gotta pay for bigger space. Hey, Kira.
No, I'm talking about this side
Hey, Buck.
project screen. The mobile.
Oh, you got to
screen.
turn it off with it. There's a little.
The mobile.
There's
screen.
a cell phone
I hate the
icon. If you
mobile
click
screen.
that, it'll turn off.
I hate the mobile. Anyway, it's not that important.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
it's weird.
Who's sending alcohol? Yeah, I'll take some alcohol. Send me
You
some.
take some alcohol.
Send me some. I want to. If you're gonna send me something, a good bourbon, good whiskey.
We
It doesn't
can
have to
do
be expensive. Just good, smooth
that.
bourbon.
Christy
heartwarming
Bailey.
bourbon.
Christy Bailey said my 3 favorite podcasters. Thank you.
Christy,
all
Christy,
right,
Christy
cool.
probably knows what a good whiskey is.
And
I'm
this
happy with
was-
a good potato vodka.
No,
They're not too
um,
expensive.
That Rip Van Winkle's is pretty good, and a couple others. I was in a bar in Atlanta a couple of years back. I was actually at Dragon Con is where I was,
Okay.
and so I was at
The drinking group.
So,
It's a
well, no, I
drinking
mean,
group.
so one of the hotels there, I mean, it's big famous hotels, and they got this glass bar that takes up like the whole right
Kind of.
corner of Atlanta. You know, I mean, this thing is huge. So I'm in there and I'm talking to the girl, and I was drinking a whiskey sour is what I was drinking, and I said, yeah, I'd like to try some. But she goes, oh, we have bourbon by the shot, the expensive bourbon by the shot, and I said, well, this is what I'm here for. And then I told her I was press. So she starts bringing me shots, like $75 a shot. She's giving to me for like $5. And I'm shot 5 or 6. I said, man, these are really good. But she said, let me bring you some really good stuff. And this bourbon was so smooth. So I asked her how much it was for a glass, or for a shot, actually, which is an ounce. And it was $5,500 an ounce.
Oh, geez,
What?
Joe.
Yeah,
For a
Did
shot.
you-
for a shot. No, I didn't pay for it. No, because I was pressed. And I
would
told
have been
her,
pressed too.
I told her that I would mention their story on air, and I have many times talked about it. And I'll get the name of the bar. For some reason it's escaping my brain at the moment, but it was a very nice place. Everybody was very nice, and the reason I really liked it is because the girl made a real whiskey sour. Well, someone of course paid, Mish. But I was media, you know. I own the media company, so you want to be extra nice to me. And I'm in Atlanta owning a media company, no less. Yeah, people tend to be way nice to you. Once I think, you know,
No, I'm
you'd
going to be
surprised.
nice to you guys. Let's talk about UFOs.
Ain't no what's UFO? They know such thing as UFOs, man. What are you talking about? Is that what you brought me on here for? They know such a thing as that.
There are a
It's
lot of
only
you.
collective imagination.
Unidentified floating objects or something. What the hell is that supposed to be? Like a Goodyear blunt floating around?
Yeah, only in your mind, only in your world, Joe.
No, and it's like the government. The government don't know squat.
There
they're
goes
bad.
my
They have
show.
a clue what's going on up there.
Do you not? I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good segue into this. See, I learned that word segue through Joe
Segway's
and
a
Jay,
good thing.
you know. So why is the government holding back on all the shit?
Because they're
about
not. They
the-
don't know dick. That's why they don't know anything. That's
They
that's
can't make heads or tails of it, for one. They can't identify the power sources, for 2, or exopolitical groups, for 3, or species, for 4. They haven't a clue what's going on. So what they do know is that there is nothing on this earth that we have, we being the royal we, the United States of America, and therefore our armies and all our high tech, there's nothing we can do to affect them, and they know that. That's what scares them.
Joe?
Well, it's one of them things. The government loves us, but they still don't know anything. They don't. They just. First off, let's just be honest about this. If you were an advanced alien species and you had been observing us for a while, would you really give us any technology that could do yourself any harm? I mean, really? I mean, we can't be trusted not to blow our own people up, much less aliens from a different world. They don't. The government just, it's like everybody else. They got bits and pieces of a puzzle that's much larger and much older than the United States. So for that matter, it's much older than most of the countries that exist on the planet today. They're here.
Kara says, I think the government might also be a little scared of what the citizens might do if they let out too much too quick.
Well,
Well, there's certain information that if they do let out, some citizens might do something. So there's some things that may never come to light. But yeah,
Well, there's
it's a
already
messed up
a-
situation from top to bottom, 100%.
there's already a society. I remember when ICAR was founded all those years ago, 30 years ago, there was already a society that was designed so when the government confessed that they allowed alien abductions, they could sue the government. That organization still exists today. So if the government, see, that's the problem. You got to give the government complete immunity to everything it's done, or you're never going to get the truth out, because there was too many crimes committed on too many different levels. It's to put this in perspective. How many of y'all listening tonight knew that the government actually poisoned alcohol during Prohibition to try to keep people from drinking?
Well, it's not surprising. They handed
that's
out
the thing. It's a
blankets
fact, but
covered
nobody
with
knows.
chicken pox to the native species and the native Indians.
And that's actually known a little bit. Yeah, that's actually known a little bit in the last few decades. But the point being is they've done things that were just terrestrial, and they won't tell us. So when somebody extraterrestrial is coming in and doing stuff, and the fact is they can't stop it.
Like I said, there's nothing we can do, nothing we have. Even the few tidbits that we've collected forcibly from them, we can't do anything against them.
Okay, to whoever just sent me that text, look, when it comes to the government only knows X amount, because first off, how long do you think the U.S. government's been into this? How many eons, how many decades do you think the government knew if this was real?
Logistically, realistically, from 47 forward, but there are some deep rumors that the first UFO government encounter was with George Washington at the Battle of the when he had to cross the Delaware River.
Hey, Kevin.
And that could may or may not be true, but nobody will ever be able to tell you either way. And we had something
Unless
else.
you get a time machine, go borrow the White House time machine and fly back there.
And how many people know he became an alcohol dealer after he was president and formed a new nation? So the point is there's so much stuff goes on in the world every day, and a lot of it not even classified, and still as humans, we don't know it. Matter of fact, I was watching a show earlier today, 100 things that every American thinks is not a fact that actually is a fact. and it's one of them things.
Like the Earth is round.
Yeah, well, see, it's not actually round, is it? It's a little not shaped.
It's ellipsoid, but yeah, it's not flat.
You cannot say it's flat. No, it's not flat. You end up
flat. It's ellipsoid. It's not. It's not a circle. It's not a ball. It's ellipsoid.
Go to a mental hospital. Whoever thinks it's flat. Seriously.
Yes.
It's
the way I look at it.
But it might be like Thor's homeworld, Asgard. It might just exist in that double stage, up and down kind of stage.
We're on his sister's world. Hell, Midgard.
Hey, Joe. So you mentioned ICAR. Can you please tell my people out there what ICAR stands for?
ICAR is the International Community for Alien Research. It's a 30-year-old abduction organization. Actually, it's a 28-year-old abduction organization. For 28 years, they've been collecting abduction cases, analyzing them, investigating them, meeting people. I think there's currently about 100.
Yeah, no, Mish, they're for real.
144,000 cases on file. It's not how many cases the organization's investigated. That's how many they consider as legit. And what's funny is that I was doing an interview about 10 years after it was formed, and we had only had about 15,000 cases back then. And I was on Coast to Coast, and the guy calls and he said, "Well, that's impossible for you to have done those cases by yourself." I said, "Well, no, Goofus." I said, "We have other investigators and other directors and other parts of people in the organization who do this as well." And it's hard, but when you think about it, with a membership over 100,000 and investigators, and when you do the whole staff group, it's probably around 30,000 people who are keeping up on all this stuff. So it's nothing. 100,000 cases isn't that. It's not squat. And
but I thought
it is by far larger than MUFON on a magnitude of 10.
But I thought MUFON was the big guns.
No, MUFON. First off, MUFON is the Mutual UFO Organization, or as like we like to call it, MUFON. You know, like
It's network, I think, is
MUFON.
what the N stands for.
So
Mutual UFO Network. But
so the thing is, when you come to they were only looking at UFOs. Matter of fact, when they started their star team back in, what was it, 98, 99, 2000, 2005, somewhere around there, they used to get into it regularly because they kept stealing our shit. Matter of fact, one of their shows actually named their show after the station name, which was UFO Paranormal Radio Network. They named their show UFO Paranormal Radio.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
So I mean, it got kind of stupid and ridiculous there for a while.
Uh-huh.
yeah, I've been saying I've been on Church of Mavis on this network since like 2014. 12 years, going on 12 years, 11 years, whatever that is. And every time people ask me, do I believe in aliens? Which I hate the question. It's like, no, I believe it's a different type of, it forms the question in the wrong way. But in any event, I would always,
we're not talking about God.
Right. And yeah, exactly. And then I would say, here's the thing about aliens. We are not alone. We have never been alone, and we will never be alone. And Ancient Aliens stole the first third of that, the first 2/3 of that, and now use that at the tail end of their narration at the beginning of their show. Now, should sue them for copyright because I got 12 years worth of me saying that before they did.
Yeah, so I think that's like kind of so you and so Icar and MUFON duke it out.
No, so this is what's so weird about this. I was a field investigator for MUFON. Linda was actually a big research investigator for him. She was way up in the thing. And then it was a weird story. She met Walt Anders. We had met him at a conference somewhere. And these two took together like peas in a pod because Walt was anti-alien abduction. He didn't believe in it. None of MUFON did, matter of fact, at the time. It's one of the big sore spots between us was they didn't think that abductees were real.
Well, even after the Barney and Betty Hill case came to light, people still didn't believe it. Even John Mack, when he first started into it, he didn't believe it.
Yeah, none of them believed that alien abduction was real. They all thought it was a figment of some kind of thing or the government doing something to the brain. But anyway, he got to know us pretty good. We did a
shared
lot of
hallucination. I think was the actual final. It actually said that. It was like, no way, that's impossible. No group of individually thinking brains, chemically different brains, can ever have the same visible hallucination unless it's a projected, engineered image, such as a hologram or a holograph. But it's just not going to ever happen.
Yeah, but anyway, Linda got to know the guy pretty good, and then him and I started talking a lot. And he used to come on Wake Up USA and talk with us. Well, I had told him I was leaving MUFON because I felt like it was the black hole of Calcutta and all that data we gave him, we never got anything back from him. And then when we started the abduction case study, MUFON lost its mind because we went around and we found everybody we could find that had ever said they had been abducted, which was around 5,000 people. And we interviewed them all. And we offered the data to MUFON. They actually turned it down. They don't actually have a copy of it. They actually turned it down. And then a couple of years later, I was talking with Walt, and Walt said, "Can you send me a copy?" I said, "Sure." But in between that, Linda and I had lost 11 days in Gulf Breeze, Florida, and he had the copy of the original report. We sent him a copy. Matter of fact, his copy is the one that was circulated around MUFON and then cut into a million pieces, taped back together. Both the envelope and the letter was painstakingly taped back together so that you could read it and put back in the envelope and mailed back to us, which we had already moved like 3 times since we gave them the letter. And they found us with no problem whatsoever. So he instantly said, "Okay, well, it's got to be the government, Joe." And it scared MUFON that they may have been involved with people who may have been involved in government abductions. It made him paranoid. And then when we did the first regression on that thing, and we told him some of the stuff that came out in the regression, he flipped out hard. Not just him, the whole bunch. John Sluicer, the whole bunch of them flipped out because there was definitely some kind of government involvement in that case. I mean, there was alien involvement, but there was government involvement. And the thing about it it made them very, very unsettled. So I said, well, we'll just go our separate ways. And I had met, he wasn't even the reason. MUFON wasn't even the reason we started the new organization. It was because of Ariel Saint Sinclair, the guy who said he was a descendant of Jesus and taken by grace on a regular basis. Had pretty good pictures and videos, but he was so full of shit I couldn't take it. We used to go do this room. It was UFO Paranormal, or whatever it was called, a UFO Alien Phenomena group. And we used to go in and chat all the time, and he'd come in and go on and on and on and on. But it was because of him we started that room, and it was because of him we started the International Community for Alien Research, just to prove the guy was full of you know what.
Right.
That's that, and then after that it snowballed because the directors did. Because originally we had Dee Andrew, who's rest in peace, Dee, and who's a great director. She knew more about fucking excuse my language, Roswell than Stan Friedman and a whole bunch of them put together. I mean, she knew the nurse personally that worked on the aliens. I mean, she actually knew the nurse. So I mean, she really knew her stuff. November Hansen, who was just an outstanding director, she launched many projects for the organization. And matter of fact, the last project she launched had to do with the reptilians. And but what happened was we had 5 directors get breast cancer all within 3 months.
But it's time for our break. So that was a good segue.
Break, man.
I'm doing my show.
Oh, I'm firing his ass, man. That's it. Where's the magic?
Me.
Where's the magic wand, man?
Everybody's gonna fire my ass.
Lucky I don't have the magic wand with me tonight, buddy. You lucky.
I see, V. Good to see you. But wait a minute. No music. Come on, dude. What you doing?
You sent that to me.
I
didn't know it was coming up automatically. That's not supposed to. No, but you sent that to me. I thought you wanted it.
No.
Yeah, we'll take it down. Yeah, I got to change the settings on that. That's not supposed to happen automatically like that.
Oh my!
Die, you earth scum bastards! Die.
So everybody,
well, why did you send it to me then?
Yeah, break time, mofos. Yes. Okay, so
hey man, I will delaze your leg, buddy.
We'll be back in a couple minutes. Go pee, get something to drink, smoke a cigarette, do what you got to do, and we'll see you back in 2 minutes. welcome back, everybody. Let me get my beautiful face back on here. Here I am. Well, again, thank you, Joe and Jay, for coming on. I also want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio 105.3, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week, Sundays from 8:10 to 10:10 p.m., and on Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. And thank you, Heidi. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. It's so good to see your beautiful, loving faces. But Joe was talking about earlier before we went on break about being abducted. So hey, Gene. So Joe, Jay, what is the deal? How do you know you've been abducted, or do you think you're going to be abducted? And what happens to abducted people?
I think there are several signs you can tell you have been. I don't think there are many that tell you you're about to be. But there are many, many signs. Some of the most talked about are strange scoop marks on the skin that aren't from any known medical procedures, implants that emit seemingly some sort of electromagnetic signals, and then when they are removed from the body post-surgery, they stop emitting signals. And the things, the implants are in places where surgically it would be very difficult for one of us to do it. Those are a couple of the few big signs. Lost time is another.
Joe?
He left. He went on vacation again, man.
Yeah.
He had things he was thinking about. He had to go. This is the walk-in. Her name is Fiona.
Well, everybody, before Joe answers, Joe is like very knowledgeable on abductees and all kinds of good stuff. And so a lot of people have asked me, they said, well, Sean, how do you know if you've been abducted, or what do they do when you get up into the spaceship, or if you even go to the spaceship? So Joe, could you put an answer to this?
You shouldn't. First thing you should say is, why do you want to know? Because once it's in your head, there's no getting it out. And it's not always a good thing what happens to you. So why is it?
Be careful what you wish for is the caveat.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, when people call me, can you hit me? And I said, yeah, I can. I said, I can get to what's in your head, but I said, do you really want to know? I said, because there's no putting Jeannie back in a bottle when she's out, buddy. That's it. You got to deal with that the rest of your life. You're gonna have to figure out how to incorporate it in your life, and then because once you're awoken to it, you can usually sense when they're around. So you know when they're coming for you half the time, which makes it even worse. Oh, and you also know that they're taking your children. I mean, it just, some things, that's why they came up with the expression, ignorance is bliss. Because in a lot of ways, especially in this kind of stuff, it is bliss. I mean, do you really, truly want to know? But most people, it manifests in their dreams first. It usually comes out and they start having just things happen in their dreams, things that they'll have triggers. Trigger memories will start because they'll have a dream and then something in life seems really close to whatever the dream was. And then it triggers another type of memory, something that was hidden or covered or buried. But those are a lot of times take time to manifest themselves. But for someone who's an abductee who's just coming out or just waking up, it can take months. It can even take years for them to get to the state where they're contacted. Now, if they get lucky and meet a researcher and want to, step up the process, you can always do that. But again, that's risky because you still got to deal with all those emotions you get. I mean, what happens first off? Now you really know that aliens have been taking you and doing some stuff to you that you probably aren't going to be happy with. But worse than that, they found that they took your 2 newborn daughters and your 5-year-old son. How you think you're going to feel about that? And you know what they're doing to you, so what do you think they're doing to them? And I mean, at least you're a grown-ass adult, big old man, got at least fighting chance. What does your little 3-year-old have? Your little 2-year-old have? Not a damn thing. So these are all emotions you have to come to terms with and to grips with, because it's not just about you, it's about everybody else that's involved. And then there's
why do they abduct people?
They're bored.
There's an agenda, but they are not really.
They're bored.
They're very secretive about the agenda and why, which should spark at least some trepidation. The problem with the whole phenomenon is that there are stories that run both sides of the meter from good to evil. Some people feel the experience is an evil experience, that whatever their end goal is won't be good for mankind, and there's other people who say that's not the case. But we don't know. There are horrific stories from abduction stories. There are horrific stories from the Phil Schneider camp of horrific things underneath Dulce Base in New Mexico, which is, by the way, there's lots of activity around the bases Alamogordo, Sandia Laboratories, and White Sands. Those three facilities have frequent. That's really where the 1947 incident occurs, is over that airspace. So it seems there's a concentration of this stuff in New Mexico, for one thing. But if we're to believe anything that Phil Schneider brought to light, that there's vats of vivisected human body parts where alien species dip into it and absorb the nutrients through their skin. I don't know. There's some horrific stuff going around out there. But like I said, runs from good to bad, bad to good, all in between. Until we get the actual information, we should all be, semi kind of worried about it, just a little.
Well, I'll tell you, like I tell everybody else when I do these interviews and when I do testimonies and stuff, you judge them by their actions. They've been here a long time, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 years. They've been here a long time. Well, they haven't eaten us. We're all still here. Matter of fact, there were far less of us here when they first got here. And now we number in the billions. Doesn't seem like they're interfering with our growth or our prosperity. Our technology seems to be on track.
But if we're a food, we wouldn't really question that. Okay, look how they're helping us along. No, they're making us so there's more of that, more food for them.
Yeah, but for a population of 8.4 billion, if we were really food, there would be way more of us going missing than that actually are. And a lot of the ones that go missing are usually found. I think more than half people that go missing are found anyway. So that presents another problem. So it's not, the numbers aren't as big.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, there's like, what is on average 1 million people go missing in the Americas alone per year, and some of them are found, but most of them are not. Where are those most not going to? So,
no, I think it's more than half are found.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's 500,000 people that are
actually the way it really works is it progresses by days and months. So the longer someone's missing, the less likely it is that you're going to find them. Doesn't mean you won't, but the longer they it's like what's her name's mom, the TV girl's mom. She's been she's been going long enough now that more than likely she's not coming back. It's a good chance she's already passed away somewhere. So,
when we talked about it on another show, she's probably originally didn't make it from the first night, but it's a sad thing.
But when they,
sad thing.
Yeah, but when contactees get taken, initially they don't remember anything, and as they start to remember more, it has to be in a constructive way because, like I said, if you're a mom and you got kids, or you're a dad, you got kids, or if you're a dad and you're a husband, you're watching your wife being taken. None of this is going to sit well with any normal person, not at least until you understand what it is they're doing or why they're doing it. And then maybe you might be able to cope with it. And then there's the fact that all contactees or abductees are empathic or telepathic. There's not even any doubt about that. It's probably one of the reasons the government's got such an interest.
Cindy Mitch says, I'm wondering if you have heard of them messing with our dogs and animals.
Well, they don't exactly mess with them. So I'll tell you this. I know this because of a lot of contactees have animals. A lot of times they will take, so let's say you're in your car and you're going somewhere, cruising through the desert in Arizona. I'll use a personal friend of mine. So she's out going, she's driving from New Mexico to, from Roswell, New Mexico to Phoenix, Arizona, and she's driving through the desert. So she got her dog with her and she's on her way. So she sees this weird star. Long story short, this thing takes her. Well, it takes the dog. It didn't leave the dog in the car. Matter of fact, in this particular case, it took the dog, her, and the car because later on, what had set them down it set her down within a mile of her house, which she was still in New Mexico at the time when she was taken. So, but I've heard many, many, many times that they take the pets, but I've never heard them doing any experiments on the animals. 'Cause, I mean, they could pick up animals anyway. They wouldn't have to do it to your animal where you would see it, because that would just further piss you off. And because they don't really let you see when they're messing with your kids, and they have your kids, and there's something going on, but you don't really get to see them doing that. Keepers do, but nobody else does.
Lisa Kirk, she has a question. Do abductees have anything in common?
They have lots of
Oh
things.
yeah,
in common.
usually blood type, eye color, and hair color. Usually,
Well, 65% of all abductees to date are Rh negative,
And
and since they
Real
only make up
quick.
15% of the population, that's a big thing.
now, Rh negative, real quick on this one, because you can do 5 shows with that. Is it O negative blood or H negative?
Rh negative is all the negatives, which is A, B, A. It's A, B, and O all have the Rh factor of negative. The O negative, of course, is the universal donor and the purest form of blood known to man. It's where all the
Sherry.
hematological research comes from. But the Rh negative itself, even though it's a baby killer, they say it's what keeps us safe from things like COVID. It's a genetic diversity. So when there's a disease like that and everybody else is dying, all the positives are dying, the negative usually has a tendency to kick an offspring that's immune to it or something.
which is probably why I have not gotten it.
And a lot of Rh negative people didn't get it. A lot of O negative people didn't get it. Christopher, it's not true that all Rh negative people are healthy. So over the years of doing abduction research, we realized that there are some contactees that are super healthy. I mean, like, there's no vaccine going to bother them. They're intelligent, loose. I mean, they're just all around a step up on humans all the way around. But there are contactees that are sickly. What's weird about it is they don't seem to die young. They just seem to be sickly. Just different diseases of different. And a lot of times it's a weird disease like geographical toe or what was it, spinal something tongue, where it looked like a road map on your tongue. It was just there's a lot of weird stuff they get too. Well, because being that you have a negative in your blood like that, you probably have other things going on. And it's, they always talk about Rh being Rhesus monkey, but really, truly, Rh negative people aren't really in the
I
Rhesus
think it's just
monkey
named
family.
after it. I don't think it has anything to do with. Yeah.
No, it does. 2% of Rh positive people share their Rhesus monkey gene. That's what they share, and because of that, they share the Rh factor, but negatives don't. Negatives just seem to be an offshoot. It's just a mutation.
Yeah, I'm negative. I'm negative. Kevin says, I think we get memory wiped when brought back and only have the realization of missing time.
Actually, they don't. You shouldn't even have missing time, missing time usually has to deal with Uncle Sam. So let me tell you how a real abduction works in today's world. 50 years ago, if you got abducted, there would have been missing time. In 2026, there shouldn't be, because ET takes you, he's going to come grab your ass, and he's going to pull you out of time. So no time actually passed. The whole time you could be going weeks, and we've got cases where people have been going weeks. You could be literally going weeks. But when you're put back 5, 10, 15 minutes within the time that you were taken or going to be taken. But sometimes they actually put you back before they take you, which is confusing. Well, no, we have documented cases that this happened. And not only that, we have documented cases of people being in 2 places at one time, or their car being in 2 places at one time. It's very strange. Very, very, very strange. Well, we stumbled across it because of cases that weren't ending up like the case in Gulf Breeze, Florida. Clearly you see the car leave the hotel at 15 minutes 11. At 10 minutes 11, you see it pull into 7-Eleven. The camera's in there. They're in there. Couples in there talking to the 2 people working the shift at 7-Eleven. They leave. They go down the beach. They hang on the beach till after midnight. But a couple weeks later, they find a ticket inside the car, really weird, like wedged in between the seat console. And the car was locked. So when they brought me the receipt, they brought me the ticket, and I was like, well, this ticket says 10:15, or 10:45, whatever it was, 10:55. I said, boo. She said, no. we were still at the hotel. As you can see, so she had already gotten the film from the hotel. The car was there at 10:45. Matter of fact, you see him getting in the car. So there's no way the car was at the beach, right? When the cop gave him the ticket. But the cop has it. Not only that, it's time stamped by the camera from the cop's car and verified by the dispatcher. But yet the 7-Eleven people and the hotel showed that these people were still there when all this was supposedly going on the beach.
How's that happen though?
Because they were taken out of time.
They were taking out time too soon.
Yeah, and then they were taken out, and then they were put back too soon. And then after the thing happened with the cop, there was nothing they could do, but they just had to let it run its course. And when it got to a certain time, it just reset, and then they were back at the hotel getting ready to come back to the thing, because you can't, 2 time zones probably can't physically exist like that at the same place at the same exact moment, I guess is what I'm saying. But
Well,
regardless, whatever it was,
they hotel. I'm sorry, go ahead, bud.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, they just have this physical ability to take you out of time and put you back when they took you or before.
Who's that famous one, or that one guy we had on? They did I had a show with Jenny, and we brought him on.
Travis Walton.
Travis Walton.
Oh, Uncle Travie. Travis is a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, because I know we had him on, and they snatched his ass up, and then they brought him back, and he was put somewhere naked, correct?
There's a lot of stuff that goes on in there that some of it's true, some of it's not. But the gist of the story was him and his buddies were working on the mountain, coming down the mountain. Now remember, picture this, people. I want everybody to picture this while I'm talking about this. So you got a bunch of rough riders up in the hills with big chainsaws. Whoa, 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 make it all kind of noise, okay? Now remember, this ship is parked in the mountain while these people have their chains on. It's not like they don't have senses or can't hear, but we'll get to that. So they get finished, they put all the saws up, they load up the truck. So they get in this like 69 squeaky, rinky, raggedy ass mountain truck that made more noise, man. Even they said it was like squeak. He said you could hear the truck for like a block away when it was coming. And so it's coming down the mountain, bouncing on the dirt road, and its lights are going up and down. So
that's the one thing they got right in the movie. The truck did make a lot of noise.
Yeah. So here comes this truck. There's no freaking way the alien didn't see this truck coming. I mean, let's just be honest about it. So they knew damn good well it was coming. So they could have left at any time, and they didn't. So then they stop, and he's the only one that gets out of the truck. Now, I got to tell you, all of my butthole friends would have been trying to get out the truck with me. They'd have been like, you ain't going to be by yourself. They'd have been,
you ain't going by yourself.
Matter of fact, there'd have been guns hanging out the windows and shit. It would have been like a mobster movie. But
shoot it. Can we eat it?
But you didn't see anything with Travis. Travis walked over there. The beam of light hit him. They hauled ass because they thought he was dead. They punched him.
Well, because the beam of light lifted him off of his feet and sent him flying through the air about 10 feet onto his back. And they probably, like, you know,
it wasn't like he was smoking
half second, and they went
and
ran. Yeah, they went there. I would have run too. You gonna go after your friend who you just saw a UFO, pick him up with a blue beam and shoot him across the valley? No, I'm out of there. I'll come back in the morning and look for it, which they did.
It's insanity is what it is. But so in his case, that went on. But Travis is one of the first handoff cases. So he was handed off to the military. So when you listen to him talk
from the FBI, wasn't the FBI came in first?
No. So you listen to him talk. He's wandering through the spaceship. He comes out of the spaceship. The spaceship's in a hangar. And there's other spaceships in there, but there's also other ships in there. So he comes out. There's 2 people sitting at a table wearing what we would consider today to be CDC outfits. You know, the white, like astronaut outfits. So he walks up to him. And first question I asked him on air is, I'm like, okay, well, were they speaking English to you? Or were they telling people? He said, oh, no, they were speaking. So it was coming out through their little thing. They were speaking. He said they were definitely humans. So at this point, he had been taken by aliens, taken to wherever this Joint Andrews base is, went in there, came walking out, and these guys were waiting for him. And then he was taken by the military and dropped off on the side of the bleeping, effing road. and said, okay.
Hazmat suits, yeah, thank you.
So you have that, and it's funny because there's similarities between that and the Betty and Barney Hill case with the half suits and stuff.
I was just going to bring that up to you, Joe. Can you talk a little about Betty and Barney?
Because you get Betty and Barney Hill being taken. You know, it's funny with them because they're in Canada on vacation, staying at the hotel. They get up that morning, like, you know, what you do with your spouse, go across the street to this big restaurant. You're having breakfast, big sign at the restaurant, right there in front of the restaurant, you know, big neon sign in front of the hotel, but you're having that breakfast. But anyway, you leave and you headed back to the United States, right? So you're driving along and you stop, you ask for directions. So Barney asked some directions, and so under hypnosis, when asked, they described this cop completely different.
Yeah.
First off, let's go back to the restaurant. First off, they could not remember the name of the restaurant or the name of the hotel.
Or the hotel. Yeah.
Couldn't even describe anybody who worked there, which is almost impossible under hypnosis unless the event didn't happen. So anyway, moving forward, they asked for directions. Barney describes him as a thin, black police officer. Betty describes him as a short, fat, white Irishman with red hair. I mean, it's completely impossible that it was the same person was two different people at the same time, unless that's just what you were seeing. And of course, you know, that would have been okay. That's when they were taken, because that would have been a gray making you, or a reptilian making you think you're seeing something else. But that's the abduction that happens in Canada. That's when they were taken in Canada. So then they're put back.
That's the UFO abduction. That's the alien.
Yeah, that's the alien abduction. Yeah, it's good. I'm glad Jay brought that up. So they were taken by extraterrestrials in Canada. And then they're put back. They're going home. On the way home, they see this thing comes flying over them. Something hits the trunk. The trunk dies. It sounds like they shot and it even sounds like they were wired and hit the trunk. So when they describe it, it said it came down and grabbed the trunk and like shot a magnetic field or like. So, but it sounds like it was still attached to the ship. Well, that's definitely our technology. That's not aliens. They ain't gonna have no wires. It's not like a giant taser. You know, we have that. We even still have that kind of technology today, actually. But aliens don't use that kind of technology. They use a different kind. But regardless, it shorts the car goes off.
If it has nuts and bolts, we built it.
Yeah. So the thing lands. 4 people with black shoes, with black boots, actually, black boots. Black jag boots, black pants, black shirts, and black duckbill caps, walk over and they loop their arms on the Betty and Barney Hill, and they walk them across the street into the field and up the stairs and into the spacecraft right off the bat.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think they also, and I think only Barney brings it up because I don't remember if he was part military. He went in the military for a little bit and then he got out, or he just, because his familiarity with it, he was friends with colonels and other military personnel. He also, I think, specifically, and if not under the original interview, but under hypnosis for this incident, specifically pointed out that the black pants were bloused into the black boots like Air Force or Navy might do.
Yeah,
or Marine or Army.
DEA, any of them could have been doing it. So
yes, DEA is another example. Well, I don't know if the DEA was around back in the 60s,
they might not have been, but the Rangers were.
Yeah.
But regardless, so you hear all of that. So that instantly makes you think it's us. Then they talk about the inside of the ship. First thing she discusses these doors that swing whoosh, whoosh, with windows in. Sound just like any old-fashioned hospital door anywhere. I was like, wow, now that sounded interesting. She talks about drawers that pull out, paperback books,
the space map that pulls down,
on a screen. And see, Kathleen Maldron, she tried to change that to make it sound better in her book, and she said it was an electronic screen like what we use today. Bullshit. That's not what they said. They were very clear. There was one thing about the Hills. They were very clear in what they were saying, and they did many, many interviews.
Especially under hypnosis, because, you know, I think it's been years, and I don't know where or when or what documentary it was in, but there's one where they actually show Barney during a hypnotic session, and he friggin' loses it. I mean, he's like a little kid, like like bawling and wailing and screaming like a child, honestly. And then when he gets out of it, he's like, "What'd I say?"
Yeah, because he
had no idea what had just gone on.
It was because
when they wake him up.
it was because of more than one time that happened that made me think that, okay, it never happened to Betty, but it happened to Barney. Barney was the
Throughout
contact.
his lifespan, probably.
And that's how the military found out about him, because probably when he was a kid, his parents probably took him somewhere because he was having these events, and he was turned in by
nightmares
some
or
somewhere.
imaginary friends, whatever,
Some
whatever triggered that.
list. Yeah, there was some list that psychologists put him on, and then eventually it made it to somebody in one of the ABC alphabet organizations, and he was on the list. And I mean, he was a black man living his life, married to a white woman. He was invited
In the
to DC.
1960s Jim Crow era.
Yeah, so
Think about it.
he was a black man married to a white woman who had been abducted by aliens, but yet still got invited to come to the White House. Wow, that's
Huh.
you know.
Okay, guys, it's that time again. We're going to take our last break.
Oh,
and
where's
then-
my firing stick at? Give me my damn stick.
Hey, everybody, Joe's going to fire me for taking these breaks. But listen, okay, we're going to take another couple
I'm
minute
gonna see if I
break.
can make his eyes glow blue. Is what I'm gonna do.
How about
Oh,
purple?
Oh my God, the lightsabers are out. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
Close your
We're
eyes,
gonna go-
people. You don't want to see what's coming next.
We're going to go on a break, and I'll be back in a couple minutes.
It's gonna be messy.
Welcome to the network of the nuts.
You ain't shitting, man. You ain't shitting. Well, we'll do this one again.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of Native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And yes, whoever it was, Jay or Joe, because Jay likes to play those. There we go. They're playing all these.
It was
Yeah.
probably Joe. I'll be back in a second. I got to go see a man about a horse. I'll be back in a minute.
He's going to see a horse. So, Joe, you coming back on? What? You coming in?
I'm right here, man. I'm nowhere. I'm sitting right here. I'm listening to this
alright,
weird
turn-
gay music you got on here.
Yeah, turn
going,
that
but
damn music off, man.
I ain't got that. Must be Jay did that.
Everybody's like freaking crazy, man, because they're saying we hear voices, we hear this, we hear that.
See,
What are you trying to
you
do?
should always play this promo.
Well, send it to me.
It's in your thing. It's right here at the bottom. It's in the background music thing.
Huh. Okay. Okay. So, real quick, Joe, can you please the company I keep, Sean? LOL. I have these two are the best. They are.
I
They
am
are
very
the
well.
best, man.
I'll let y'all know for sure.
I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for Mr. Montaldo. Okay. And I'm grateful for him. But
And
tell
Jay's
us
the one
about
pulling him out
what's
of
the name of your
program.
show on Wednesday night?
What is that show? What the hell name is that show? Well, that's UFO on the Cover. I've been hosting that thing for longer than half the people in this audience been alive, probably. It's
So tell us
30
about
years.
the show. Tell us about the show.
It's technically UFO on the Cover is just an extension of the International Community for Alien Research. It's just another way to help. Matter of fact, it's not just that, the whole network is. I mean, originally this network was designed to put out information that was found out by the International Community for Alien Research. So we designed the shows on the network, UFO on the Cover. The whole thing was designed to put out information that we had been finding out through all the research we had been doing. But it grew, and a good friend of mine warned me this was going to happen, but he goes, Joe, it's going to take over if we're not careful. And it did for a long time. It grew so fast that it overshadowed its host, which was because technically ICAR owns all of this. It belongs to the organ, to them. Even the radio network does. It actually belongs to them. Well, now that it's in the United Public, Jimmy, it's not quite the same. It's a little different now. Who's the boss?
You're the
Michelle.
boss,
Michelle
Michelle.
DeRoche.
Hey, Michelle told me last night, we're lucky we ain't fired, so y'all leave her alone. Y'all don't bug the boss.
Yeah,
This is
She
the
is
boss
not
over
happy.
here. This is Mr. Boris. Boris
oh,
bedding off. We must get moose and squirrel.
She's an abductee too. She's contacting Michelle is.
yeah, they want to
They
know
just-
what your horsey's name is, Jay.
It's Boris.
I don't know what his
Boris?
horse's name is.
Oh, I
People,
don't know.
y'all are weird.
Oh.
No, y'all are just weird.
And Lisa says, "Oh,
No, I think he's
kid,
asking about Mish's horse, not mine.
You said that you were going to see about a horse."
Yes, and you don't know what that
Oh,
means?
That's a nice way of saying I had to go take a pee.
Oh, no,
Jesus.
man.
Oh,
Shame on
my
you, Pete.
God.
I have to pee like a horse.
Oh,
I've
Oh
got to
my
pee
God.
like a horse. No one's never. You've never heard anyone say I've got to pee like a horse.
I have
Come
many
on.
times.
I have many
I got to go
times.
see a man
I
about a
gotta
horse.
get-
It's a nice way of saying I got to pee
no,
like
no,
a
no.
horse.
You have to say, man, I got to pee like a racehorse, man. That's all you have to say. And everybody in
I
the chat
did.
room and you just said, I
didn't
got to
catch
go
on
see
till
him.
after I went pee.
All right.
And look at the little
Right.
puppy too, man. He got the old. Look at this. Wait till
Battle
I
of
get
the
my pug.
sidekicks.
I'm getting my pug. I'm gonna get it.
This is
and-
the
I got, a
big
German,
one.
I got a German Shepherd that trumps your pug and his two Chihuahuas all at once.
I got this is the big one. See, she's a big girl. The little
And
one, I don't
plus,
know what
my German Shepherd, his name is Admiral. So you Navy boys have to give him salutes.
Oh, you know what? Kiss my butt on that one, Jay.
she is.
Shit. Yeah, right.
It's Jay's
He's a
key
good
cat.
Navy dog.
Get that key cat.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Sean is
thank
trying
you,
to
Jack.
cramp Jay and Joe into 1 hour. Oh no, I ain't. No.
It's
Lisa says, "Oh my goodness, all the fur babies. They got a lot of fur." Joe has another fur baby that's a little
she's
black.
hiding that.
Yeah.
I got 6 of these damn things and a dog.
See, man, I'd have so much Chinese food if I had 6 cats, man. Look, I'd have like Chinese
Yeah, the
food.
Chinese restaurant here is good though.
All right. But okay, so we were talking about
Yeah, I'm pretty sure aliens eat
You-
cats, man.
yeah, Elf. Remember Elf?
Yeah, there you go.
The
See,
TV show Elf. Oh yeah,
when
Yeah,
y'all think that
absolutely.
came,
Alf.
they knew.
ALF, alien life form, ALF.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Joe, and I've been on many shows with you, and we've talked about this. You put people under to try to get the answers of their
No, when I have
abductions?
to. Yeah, when I have to. So, ICAR's really hardcore on hypnosis. Linda was the first one to go get certified, but a bunch of us did, and a bunch of us got certified to teach. But the thing of it is, is I like to use it more of a last resort tool. I would rather you try to work these memories out honestly through other means, so the memories we retrieve are being retrieved, naturally, so that you without as much stress. Because
Hey, Robert.
see, because I can go in, I could put you under and put you in the carousel, and then have you start picking things that's in your brain by just pushing the image, and then the whole image plays out and the whole thing plays out. And I can do it in two ways. I can do it in the way that you can experience it, or I can do it in the way that you're watching it like I am. So, and by doing that, the way you don't have to experience the emotions, you only have to experience the event. But if I let you live through it, then of course you experience the emotion with the event, which can be traumatic, depending on what actually happened. But yeah, I mean, if we can't get it out any other way, we will put you under it. And then there's levels anywhere from level 1 to much lower than that. And it's just, you got to be careful, because once you start getting down so far, it's easy to taint someone's memory. It's easy to plant little suggestions without any real effort whatsoever. When you get somebody down like 7 or 8 layers down, 10 layers down, I mean, you could just, matter of fact, you could just lay the whole abduction story into their head, and they would actually think it was real. As long as you wiped out the fingerprints where you put the story in, they would think it was real. They would never know it wasn't. And if you do it right, even if someone came in behind you to re-regress them to see it, they still wouldn't be able to find the fingerprints. That's why in today, ET does things a little differently. They really don't have the missing time so much, and they prefer to use looped memories. And we that was another thing we found by accident, but.
Yeah, the lady with the corn dog, or no, it was a chili dog.
Yeah, that was it was her. There was a couple of them, but she was the tipping stone. She was that case, because we knew there was something going on, but we didn't really have a clue until that case came. We busted that case out. And we were like, wow. So then we started going back and looking through other cases, and we found people where we could go back and re-question them, and found out that they had similar things happen to them. Well, John, it's just like the car thing, that when they were at the hotel, but the car was getting the ticket at the same time they were in the hotel room watching TV. Yeah, so when you start pulling things in and out of time, anything can happen. And wow. I think time has a way of self-balancing itself. I think that, when one event is approaching the other event, once the events happen, I think the other event just disappears. So there's not two of you running around.
And so apparently the grandfather paradox must not be that much of a curse. The old thing is, if you go back and meet yourself in time, you touch yourself, you'll die. That kind of thing. Doesn't seem to be an issue because of these things are happening. Yeah.
No, you can go back and sleep with your grandmother or your mother.
Kaysen has a question. Kaysen has a question for you, Joe. He says, Joe, what do you think of Bob Lazar's story?
Bob's I've talked to Bob a couple times over here. Bob's a nice guy. It's just Bob's got issues because he's been involved in things that hurt his credibility. And before I say any more, I don't think Bob's actually lying. Not per se. I think he is lying about some stuff.
Oh.
I don't think he's lying about what he actually saw.
He's hiding details. I wouldn't say lying.
So no. But he's lying because he's not really saying who he really is. And see, he wasn't that hard to find. See, it always bothered me. The very first time anybody called me about Bob was, we can't find out anything about him in school or anything else. Well, that wasn't true. I went looking. I found out where he went to high school. I found out where he went to school. Found out where he went to college. I found out that
Stan Freeman did all that too.
Yeah, and like Stan found out, I found out he didn't have all these degrees that he said he had. And then I called a good friend of mine who worked at Los Alamos Laboratory and asked them to pull the personnel file for the quad. They call it the quad something. I forgot what its actual name is, but it's quad something. But anyway, they're talking about Los Alamos Area 51 and some other projects they got going on out there. And I just asked if to look the name up, and she found the name immediately. His name came right up. It didn't come up as a scientist. It came up as a janitor. But Jay and I have discussed this janitor thing. So if you've ever seen the TV series Eureka, you know that a janitor at a place like Area 51 or Los Alamos is probably not the same janitor that you have at the building downtown. No. I imagine they have a different skill set. Now, I can't prove it. But, once it came out, I mean, we couldn't hide it because it came out on a public show, so we didn't have a choice. So I felt like, okay, well, then we just need to clarify that, okay, maybe this was his official job. Maybe that's the reason he was in that hangar doing cleanup for that craft, getting it ready for whoever was going to come see it, which would have gave him access to the craft without having to have an outrageously high security clearance, because no one could ever find his clearance level. So which suggested he didn't really have a high one. So, but you wouldn't have needed one if you were the guy that went in and did that, because the guy above you is responsible for you. Yes, so they don't need it. It's weird how it works. Yes, I know.
Mish came up with a question, and it's a curious one. She wants to know that U.S. Navy dude wearing a mask.
No idea.
I have no idea, Mish. I don't have a clue.
Wear masks for lots of reasons. I'd have to see the picture and see what kind of mask it was.
No.
I mean, just when you get your general orders, you got to wear a damn mask.
I've been researching this subject for more than 40 years, so if I saw a picture, maybe it might jar our memory. I've forgotten some things that other people have recently brought back to light. Like when Ancient Aliens first came on, I had pretty much formulated the idea that I have now, that the things that we're hearing coming out now in like the late 70s, early 80s. But we're starting to see and hear those things now. It's kind of like sort of like verification, but not quite. But they brought back memories of things that I couldn't, just like recall off the top of my head. When I was like, oh, hey, thank you. You reminded me of something I hadn't thought of for, 20 some years.
Okay.
That's about the only good thing about Ancient Aliens. They jar my memory.
Christy says it was a recent interview, the one Mitch wants to know about the Navy guy with a mask. Have you seen that interview? I have.
I'll have to look it up and see. It's
yeah. Mitch says Google it. He's doing an interview with You Can See It's Like a Mask.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I think the guy had a stoma, and it just his skin's hanging over there. It's one of the admirals from the Navy, retired admiral, talking about UFOs, and they thought he had pulled on those realistic life-size latex masks, and that there was a clear line there. I don't know. He was like in his 70s, and it just looked like saggy skin to me.
Well,
I know which one she's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
Wow. Wait. Here, let's just show it here. Let's just. Okay. Is this the one you're talking about? Hold on. I might have
to He's going to put it up.
Hold on. Let me see. So this guy right here. This ain't the video.
No, you're welcome, hon.
I'm gonna have to go back and find that.
All right. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, but there's a video of it. So yeah. there's a video of it. This guy right here, because that's a mask he's got on his face right now. You don't see the thing at the bottom where it's lifted off his neck?
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So he's wearing a mask. That face you see right now is a mask. Now, what's interesting about this is I've seen a lot of those 70s, 80s CIA masks. They were badass. I seen one of the recent ones from like 2008, dude. You can't tell. They look as real as any face you've seen anyway, and you can just pull them right over your face. Shit, Jay and I were showing those weird T-shirts just recently that were pretty wicked in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa says, but the placement of his eyes look different. In his younger photos, his eyes are spaced further apart.
Well, because when you grow, as you get older, your ears get bigger, your nose gets bigger, your face gets wider. Yeah,
but why would he put on a face mask of his own face?
Because it probably ain't his own face. It's just probably just wanting to prove a point that it's a mask, and y'all can't tell without seeing the mess up.
But I tell you what, it kind of worked because it's got everybody asking questions.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
But that's the sad part about this. This is 25-year-old technology. This has been around a long time. This is not something new.
Do you think it's possible that there are aliens walking around with masks on? Is it possible?
No, because they have such powerful brains. They can just I don't know how they do it. It's some kind of carrier signal, kind of like the movie They Live. There's just like when you get within a certain range of their brain, you see what they want you to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they so like a gray or reptilian, if they could be in a crowded mall, everybody in the mall would see the same thing. They would just see the gray walking. They wouldn't see the gray. They'd just see the person walking around. It's almost like they're somehow linked into our DNA. It's kind of like the Matrix, that they have access, that they can access the primal part of our brain and just put the image there.
We do have a triune brain that has mammalian, insect, and reptilian aspects to it.
Oh wait, this is the video. Is that the video?
That the policy he set with the blockade has had short-term and long-term effects on the regime and the people of Iran. So he's been very astute in leveraging that time. And so I don't see it as negotiations. It really is capitulation. The president's made it very clear. You will not have a nuclear weapon. You will not have the material. Surrender that, and you will ensure that the Straits of Hormuz are open to free commerce.
He's some sort of rear admiral or something.
Claims for
Vice Admiral Robert Harward.
Okay. All right. So, good segue into it. Another thing. Mish says not the clearest video of it, but my question, and there's probably a lot of questions. How many species of aliens are there, and what are they?
What do you mean? How many are there in the universe? There's probably billions.
Billions,
what I mean is, you got the little dudes, and you got reptilians.
This corner of the galaxy, though, Sean, to answer your question, in the 50s, when legitimately this really started kicking off, there was a survey done among UFO experiencers, contactees and abductees and whatever you want to call them. And the consensus of that survey was that there were somewhere between 11 and 12 alien species that are and or have visited this planet. They did a TV show in the, early to mid 80s. The guy who played BJ Honeycutt, I think, I don't remember the actor's name, Mike Farrell is the guy. Mike Farrell hosted a UFO. It's like, they did like a telethon. It was a live TV show. It went live on TV. It was like a 3-hour event. I watched the whole thing, and they started a survey at the beginning of the show, like 8 o'clock. How many aliens do they think are on the planet? And they warned you about the results would be at the end of the show. At the end of the show, they said, well, they brought up the 50s survey I just told you about, and they said our survey revealed that there were somewhere on the order of 4 to 6 alien species currently hanging out here on Earth.
Who are they? What are they?
Well, we got the Arcturians, the tall whites. Those are Charles Hollis's buddies. We got the Zeta Reticulans, which are the Greys. We got the Anunnaki, which or sometimes they call the Nords. You got the Reptilians. There's another group of Greys that are they're not Zeta Reticulan Greys. They're another group, but their facial features give off the impression of insect-like features, but I don't think that in all the years it's never been really described as insect-like behavior. So, and then you have the light beings.
Yes, well, the other race is the rogue gray race. It's just the same race.
They
just call it. They're just basically rogue from their own.
That could
race.
be the insectoids too. Again, once we don't. The information is
the problem with the insectoids. 99% of the times when people describe insectoids to me, they're describing a gray and a big bug-eyed, big bug-eyed thing that looks like it should have some wings on.
Wrap around eyes, small nose, slit for a mouth, no ears. Usually,
and then every now and a blue moon, someone will talk about a mantis, but the Greys said the mantis were a puppet, a robot, something they used to intimidate people. But is that true or not? I don't know. We'd have to go find out for ourselves. I'm not going to say the Greys.
It's like Baylock. He's got that mechanical head to scare people. Yeah,
but they said that's what they were originally there for, was to, because he pretty much said that, look, little 3-foot gray is not exactly intimidating. even when they're slamming against the wall with their super psychic powers, it still isn't the same thing as big creature with manos and teeth, and they're gonna look like they're gonna eat you in pinchers.
But what would be more humiliating, being beaten up by a giant muscular robot, or being thrown across the room by a 3-foot gray with mind power?
You'd be embarrassing.
I've been hearing a lot of shit about, the royal family being reptilians and the guys that have the families that have a lot of money. What is your opinion on all this stuff that's out there?
Well, the aliens did impart 3 control systems to this, if you will, species and or planet. And those control systems are religion, kings or noble bloodline, and religion. No, did I say religion already? It's government. They gave us government, religion, and the idea of noble birth. So that being said, I think some of the nobility can maybe trace their bloodline back to direct traces with aliens.
They also gave us greed.
Yes.
They also gave us greed.
Lisa has a good question. She says, I'm wondering, do you think the Miami Mall incident was really aliens? What kind were they?
Oh man, I actually got paid to debunk that, by the way.
Probably meth heads, if anything at all. Yeah, it was a non-event.
No, it was hold on, let me grab this right quick and I'll tell you about it. So I've been doing this for about 4 years now. I've been doing a little bit of debunking for different police departments. What's his name? Mr. Wiener got me to work. He was the first person to introduce me to AI, how it actually worked, and how things formulate, how the AI figures out how it's going to do things, which helps you to understand why it makes some of the mistakes it made. But in this case, I get a phone call. The guy's like, I'm going to send you some video. I'm like, okay. I hadn't seen it online yet. And I get the video. I'm looking at him going, okay. So I call him back. Now, we get around. I'm talking to a detective, Miami PD. So I said, well, dude, I got a question for you. He's like, what? I said, first off, this thing's like 12 foot tall. It's running around outside, right? Yeah. He's like, it's in front of the damn parking garage. I said, yeah, I'm looking at it. And I said, well, but wait, you said it was inside too, right? He said, yeah. He said, I'm sending you the video for it right now. So he sends me the video. So you're looking at the video from inside and you see this like blob of movement with like fingers and stuff coming out of it and feet, and it's weird. But what was even weirder was that no one in the mall, not anyone upstairs, not anyone on the ground, was looking at it, paying any attention to it, and didn't have any cameras out. Nobody was running around yelling and screaming because there was a big monster going through the middle of the mall. Not one person. And on top of that, they surrounded this mall with 50 Miami PD cars looking for this thing. Never found anything. When you're outside, you're looking. So you see this big alien outside the building, and it's out there terrorizing. Well, when you look, you see people walking underneath it. They were ignoring it. They didn't see it. It wasn't there. It was AI. And the guy was like, man, you should have been a detective. I was like, no, y'all should have caught that. I said, you should have seen on the balconies that no one was looking at this thing. No one was hollering. No one on the ground was screaming and hollering, a big monster in it. I mean, this thing's a big, huge monster. You'd have been screaming your ass off. I mean, at the very least, you'd have had your phone out taking camera pictures, because of what just happened. But none of that was going.
Yeah, and when it first happened, I think we were on news on the flip side when we first talked about it. And I Google searched, all that came up was like the initial, like it was like a Facebook, one of them Facebook short videos. Breaking news, monster aliens, disrupt mall in Miami or whatever the hell the headline was. I Google searched it. The only thing that ever came up was the initial Facebook post. Nothing on the news came up.
Could you clarify what you mean by?
Hey, Google, stop.
Google just called Jay a bitch. Did you hear that, man?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it.
My God, I tried to bitch in the water.
Damn, girl, Jay, what are you doing to her?
She's not supposed. I didn't activate her. She's talking all on her own. She's talking out of the side of her face.
Well, there must be some kind of ghost in there that kind of likes her.
The ghost in the machine for sure, dude.
That's that AI.
Jay. Yeah, there you go, Joe. He went on.
We start hearing moaning.
I got some French toast sticks. I'm going to put some syrup on.
So my friend Lisa, she sent me these AI glasses that they got out. And what was crazy, some dude went to the building of Scientology, and there was all kinds of evil shit coming out of that, Joe. How real are AI glasses, and can you use it to go ghost hunting?
I don't know. I'd have to get a pair and try them out, but I doubt it because AI makes up shit as it goes along.
Okay.
AI is only drawn from what you allow it to see, and everything AI knows it learned from some computer program that some human wrote somewhere, or some knowledge that some human put online, or some investigation that some human put online. So they're prone to make a lot of mistakes. I mean, I've been doing that program with Amazon now for a while, but because I found out early on that Alexa's an idiot.
Yes.
I mean, there's so much they don't know. I mean, Alexa was actually smarter before they upgraded it to AI.
Here's a perfect example. Hey, Google, is there a human race?
Yes, humanity is a single species known as Homo sapiens. We all belong to the same biological group, though we have a wonderful diversity of cultures, histories, and traditions across the globe.
So she knows there's a human race. Hey, Google, who's winning the human race?
That's a philosophical way to look at it.
Ooh.
Since we're all part of the same species, there isn't a winner or a finish line. We're all in this together, and I think we're at our best when we're supporting one another and learning new things.
She's on
they've updated her. You used to ask her that question. She'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Is there a human race? I don't know. Who's winning it? I don't know. They must have updated her.
Oh, yeah, they steady update them because they're getting so much feedback now.
So what you were saying about the AI glasses, so somebody human said, okay, the building, the science, and it's just not that. It was in a church. They were really, really cool, the thing. So somebody programmed all that nasty shit about Scientology and then all the good stuff into that AI glass, or
I'll tell you this. I can't speak for what the glasses is. I know about 100 Scientologists. I have yet to meet one that was mean, nasty, or eats babies or anything else along those lines. They're all very nice.
They don't eat
people.
them. They just cook them.
They're very, very, very hardworking people, very nice people. If everybody worked as hard as they did, the whole world would be a much better place. I've just never met. I mean, they believe they're old school. They believe in you should be working 14, 16 hours a day, every day, not just on Monday through Friday, but every day. It's just part of who and what they are. And it's,
So we are getting close to the end. Let me see. Donna Copus, hey, how are you? Good to see you. What would you tell somebody if they get abducted? What would you tell them to do without being free? That was a dumb question.
Do not put it out on national television. You'll be abducted by military abductions, MILABs, within days.
Well, if you know anything, only if you know anything. It's you can come out as an abductee, but if you know information, you're gonna get taken. They're gonna pick you up. That's one of the things we tell people. Be careful when you come out the closet. There's a lot of people gonna get interested in you, and if you come out the closet, you're one of the ones that's had access to the ships or the engine rooms or the guidance systems or any of the big ships. A lot of people are gonna be interested. They want to know who you are, what you know.
Heidi says Heidi says we are all one. Everything is connected. I like that.
It's a half truth, Heidi.
Okay, it's a half truth. But I just forgot the question. Oh, I know a question I wanted to ask you, buddy. What's your thoughts on UFOs and Bigfoot working together here?
I don't know. Ask Bigfoot. I don't know why they won't want to.
I can tell you this. I don't think they work together. Number one. Number two, there is allegedly a race within the now both Russian and American whistleblower sources, if you will, have spit out 2 alien source books that have the about 112 species, I think, between the 2 books, 60 in one and 80 in the other. So something like 140 different species. Anyway, both books do talk about a group of aliens that look like they would be like the inspiration for Chewbacca. They're not Bigfoot, but they would be. You could mistake it for Bigfoot. Bigfoot is human. Bigfoot is from Earth. They don't work together. However, if you look at UFO hotspots on the East Coast and the West Coast, and Bigfoot sighting hotspots on the East Coast and the West Coast, they coincide. So my only take on that is that the UFOs are not only abducting humans, but they're also abducting Bigfoot.
They might want to use some of that skunky smell to make perfume out of or something.
It's not skunk they're looking for. It's the GNA, the gene work.
Cindy has a good question.
They just want that gland.
Do the Anunnaki have viewed spacecrafts shaped like blimps?
More like pyramids, I think.
So, actually, you get right down to it. The Greys have a ship. If you've ever seen the movie Starman, their mothership looks like the one you see in Starman. It's big, round, oval, and it's big. I mean, it's way bigger than our moon is. So they got that one, and then they've taken pictures of the ones that park out near the sun, the ones that look like bored cubes. Those are human craft. They belong to the humans. That's who they belong to, or the human type aliens. And they're also used. When you see something up against the sun that looks like an inch by an inch, that means that thing is phenomenally used. It's as big as a planet. And there was 3 of them there.
Yeah, it has its own gravity well.
Yeah, so it looks like they were creating their own type of, I guess maybe it was a gate or something. Either they were drawing energy or using it as a gate, or maybe doing both. But NASA originally said it was an error with the camera.
They could have been getting a tan. You never know. You know, maybe 10 minutes in front of the sun.
But we know the reptilians like the sunlight, so you know they might be hanging out with them down there. Jesse, the reptilians. So the Greys and reptilians have a ship. I guess in a way it looks like a blimp because it's long, rectangular shape. Sometimes it's squared on each end, sometimes it's rounded on each end. But they're weird because when we started getting reports of them, they always had different amounts of bumps on them. On top, they'd be like 1 or 2. On bottom, there might be 1. Sometimes it would be 4 or 5. Anyway, when they're the way they're supposed to, there's actually 5 and 5. 5 on top, 5. But there's saucers that actually fit into the ship.
And break off,
yeah, and it's like a carrier, but it's not like a carrier.
If you ever saw Independence Day, it's like when they get on top of Earth, all the little spaceship break off from underneath the mothership and then surround the planet.
Except the saucers aren't, but just because these things are huge, the ships that hold the saucers are huge. These saucers are big. They're like the size of small cities. They're big in themselves. Well, no, they have a lot of big ships around. They just, for whatever reason, they're hanging out in this part of the galaxy. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like when Heidi was talking about we're all related in a lot of ways we are, but we don't really know about these galaxies that are being eaten by our galaxy. What blood type, what DNA has that brought into our galaxy? How has that changed the life forms in this galaxy? And are we even from this galaxy, since we're in one of the places that happens to be eating the Sagittarius galaxy right now? So we don't even technically know if we're actually from this galaxy. We just argue about it.
We're actually between spiral arms of this galaxy. So technically, where are we in it? Are we out? Are we between it? What's going on?
We're in it because we're pushed in between the spiral arms. But I mean, if we get much further pushed out, I mean, we'll be in just black nothingness space.
We could become our own rogue solar system. Yeah,
I mean,
screw Space 1999. It'll be solar system 1999.
Well, no, Jeffrey, there's stars around us right now, but I mean, they're not like if you lived in spiral arm type of arms. No, it's not like that.
Right. No. Yeah. We're out in the sticks.
Hey, Jay, we got about 15, 20 minutes left. Do you have some video that you downloaded that you would mind sharing?
I was just looking at a few. I was trying to find one that allegedly is of us shooting down a UFO, but let me see if I can find. This is the one that Joe couldn't see the craft on. Oh yeah.
Do Men in Black exist, and are they aliens?
They exist,
Yes
and
and
some
yes.
of them they exist, and some of them are hybrids.
Some are and some aren't. Yeah. Where the hell are we? There we are.
Yeah, Jay's going to put up a video for everybody. And if he would, not worry about his French toast.
French toast sounds good, man. I could be worried about some French toast.
They're French toast sticks, actually.
I might have to order me some soup.
All right, can you guys see that?
Yeah, I can, but my people can't.
Yeah, my people can't either, man. Now what?
Joe, can you put it up?
Yeah, I got you, Gavin. You're up.
All right, so let's start it again. Watch the very bottom left corner. You'll see it fly by. No wake, no nothing. There it goes. The hell was that?
It was fast, whatever it was. Of course, those are boats we're talking about, but it could have been a drone of some sort.
Pretty quick, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Looked like a helicopter from Mars.
No. Helicopter would have left a mark in the water.
I'm joking with you.
So, Gene, everybody in this universe is related because we came from the same Big Bang or whatever you want to call it. But each galaxy is probably slightly different. So you'll contain the universal DNA, and then you'll contain your DNA from your galaxy. So technically, if you're from the Milky Way, everybody in the Milky Way, everything in the Milky Way should be interconnected. Yes. So well, if there is truly a consciousness, you should be able to connect to it.
I don't think I have found verification on this, but I think this is true. As far as genetics go in this galaxy, then by extension, the universe. What that also means is it seems like you can't cross a duck with a horse. And yeah, the species have to be pretty similar to get DNA to work together. So postulate this. That means that the Greys, the reptilians, the insectoids, if they're insectoids, the Anunnaki, and the tall whites, if they are all interbreeding with us, it means they have evolved on a parallel, similar primate biology, or they would not be able to do what they're doing. In my opinion.
Well, they could be, and well, so the problem for this is if they're from our solar system, it's quite possible for them to interbreed with us because we probably do share some type of DNA. But if they're not from this solar system, odds are it would take a lot of work on their part. Besides that, they don't want to breed with us. We're going backwards for them. For every race we're talking about, for them to interbreed with us is going backwards. They're already more powerful than we are. They're stronger, bigger, taller, faster. They have unlimited lifespans. They have telepathic abilities. Our DNA would be going backwards for them. So what they're trying to do is not enhance theirs, but enhance ours through ours and theirs. Through a combination, actually, because it looks like they're using the reptilians, Greys, humans, and our original ancestry to try to build a bigger, faster, brighter human. And I mean that's probably where RH negative came from. It's probably where the throat comes from it. Okay.
Or they're trying to fast track us. You know, if you ever played like a video game, like RPG, your friends help fast track you so you can get leveled up. They may be fast tracking a new species to replace one that was destroyed on the 5th planet, which is now rubble and known as the asteroid belt. So that's another postulation as well. They could, why are people want to postulate, why are they here? Why are they so interested in us? Well, maybe they're being forced to repair something that they broke.
See, and I could be all good with it. I'll be honest with you. My whole problem with anything extraterrestrial is how long they've been here.
And it's alien. Yeah, we can't put into their minds what is in ours. It's because they're alien.
But it's not even what I mean. I mean, they have been here so long. There is not anything they couldn't have already done a dozen times over. So you have to wonder what exactly is going on and how much of this is for our benefit and not for theirs. That's the question I keep asking. Alive.
What is it more for our benefit or for theirs? Why are they doing it? There is a reason. Just they are not forthcoming with said reason.
I like what Hillbilly Herb says here. That's an interesting thought. Fixing what they
that's a lovely picture too.
But that's the thing. Yeah, I know that is a good picture. But fixing what they broke, they should have already done that. Well,
no. Okay, so now imagine
years.
if you're the Greys, the reptilians, and now you got all these 5 species that are in this area region, and you have a little backyard scuffle, as it were, and you accidentally break an entire species and kill an entire planet. And then the Greys come along and go, we're the Galactic Police, fix this mess and rebuild that species. They might not have any choice in the matter.
Yeah, but the thing of it is we have history. We know how our species came to be. So we are not a broken species. We were a slave species, but not a broken one.
Yes.
So there's nothing here
we
to
also
fix.
Don't know what the species, if there was a species on the 5th planet.
Frankly,
it's now rubble.
I think it's more about slowing us down than speeding us up. We're not ready to be part of the galactic community in any shape, form, or fashion. We're not even a united planet yet.
There's stuff in our backyard in Roswell. Then
they need
that's the catalyst.
They need to quit. You know,
yeah.
government.
So just
today, we were reading just today. One of the largest nukes ever exploded in space, and for what reason? So someone would take notice, and not anybody on planet Earth. There was
another reason too. They wanted to see. There were two speculations when they did that. I think it was 61 when they did this test. But they wanted to see if it would A, call aliens, B, turn off all the lights on the planet, and C, if it would do. And there was some weird, like, physically impossible thing that could have happened. A tear in the universe or some kind of whatever. I don't know. But when they did launch it off, it was in outer space, and I think it was above Russia, and all of Russia's power grid went down.
That's because it made a big old monster EMP.
EMP.
It was on the documentary we caught today. It was 9 times larger than anything we detonated on the planet.
Yeah,
and so that means I didn't even know we had a bomb that big back then. That's what made me kind of take notice.
We didn't. We exploded it.
I was like, this sounds a little fishy, but anyway, I mean, those kind of things that get people's attention. So you come here and you're looking at our planet and you're thinking, okay, well, these people definitely are nowhere near galactic community people. They're nowhere near even friends with their own community people. So the best thing we can do is just keep an eye on them and kind of gradually help get them in the right direction. But how are you going to fix the China, Russia, Europe, America thing? How are you going to fix that? You're not going to ever be part of any galactic community as long as these 4 countries can't get along with each other.
No,
that's interesting.
Because we're a threat. And let's say that, okay, we all start getting along and the aliens give us a bunch of technology, or they decide to side with the Russians or the Chinese. And then they, in turn, decide to wipe out half the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and to know more and more about this, everybody, just go to UFO Undercover.
Yeah, burn,
Wednesday
baby,
nights
burn.
at 8:00 at night till 10, correct?
Eastern time.
Eastern time, Central time. I got to get you host training, man. Where's Michelle?
Yeah, it's 8, 7 Central.
I see Michelle. I'm on Michelle's ass when I see her.
Go ahead. You tell her that I'm such a good
I tell her all the time about the Central time shit. It makes me crazy.
Like it says on my headline there, Church of Mavis, Fridays, 8, 7 Central.
Because
Central.
But one more quick question, guys, and then we'll get to the end of the show. I have to pull my card for my peoples. But what is your theory on the cattle mutilation?
Well, that's an easy one. If you look, that for the most part in America, the cattle mutilations were only in the New Mexico, Nevada Valley, basically where we fired many nuclear devices, and then later on in the, I guess about the mid 70s, when the TR-3B and Aurora spaceplane projects began, you began seeing deer, horse, and cattle mutilations on the Hudson and Ohio valleys, but only because one of those experimental ships allegedly had nuclear fission as an engine. So therefore, it's just strictly they're looking for how far spread out radiation is getting into the population.
Yeah, well,
and they're sucking it out of cows' faces.
Yes, everyone say thank you, JoJo, for that. Okay, y'all don't even know how much shit I had to go through for that theory. It's oh man, we still even today, Linda Mulhall loses her mind anytime she hears us talk about it. Because what Jay was telling is exactly what happened. So this is a perfect example. Y'all ever heard of Skinwalker Ranch? So about I think it's northwest of Skinwalker, about 8 miles, 9 miles. There was 2 nuclear bombs detonated there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you're walking around in Skinwalker, you have to have a little badge on you because sometimes there is radiation present in the area.
I think somewhere nearby there was one that was done underground as well.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of it in those areas that were done. So what the government decided to do,
like radioactivity.
The government decided it would be easier just to take insured cattle from cattle ranches, take the parts they need, test it, leave the body behind. That way the insurance can be covered and everybody's happy. So they don't have to go around telling the public that they're testing for radiation contamination, because as far as the public's concerned, the aliens are stealing the cows. So it was a great.
There's one thing they also tell you about. They all have the many things in common. All the wounds are similar. There's one other thing they all have in common that they don't ever tell you is that none of them have ever had the identifying tag removed. Most cattle and agrarian horses and cattle have a paper or fabric cloth. It's like an earring pierced into their ear with there's like a serial number and all kinds of stuff on it. So that's how they get their insurance money. None of those tags have ever been removed.
Yeah, but as long as you get the carcass, you can collect. It's better if you get the tag, because you can take the tag in and collect that way. But if you don't, you can take a picture of the carcass. But all those, and I remember when I talked to the first sheriff about it, he was looking at me like, well, no one's ever asked me that before. I said, can you find out? He's like, yeah, I can find out. And it wasn't even a week. He calls me up. He said, everybody who's in this area, cows are insured. He said, well, that just changes the way everything is. He said, that can't be a coincidence. And it's not. And it doesn't matter who you talk to. The cows are insured. Now, I'm sure Linda Moldy Howe or somebody could probably come up with somebody that would say it wasn't. But everybody we talked to a lot of people, all said the same thing. Their cows were insured. Plus the fact there really is no cattle mutilations east of the Mississippi River. And you want to know why? There was only ever 2 nuclear bombs tested east of the Mississippi River, and they were both tested north of where I live right now in Mississippi. And they're monitored. So,
real quick, Jason has a quick question. Joe, do you think the Eisenhower story is real?
I think it's real, but not in the way it was told to us. It's just because we know something about something that happened with Reagan. So
there's something fishy going on there. He disappears 2 or 3 times in that time frame. And one time, allegedly, the first time was in Georgia. They believe he was at Fort Benning, and then he disappeared for like an afternoon and went to another military base in Georgia and met with a group of aliens. And then when he was in California at Edwards, he was supposed to be at some golf event. He disappeared for the whole weekend, and that's where he allegedly met with the Anunnaki and the reptilians.
The one we know that is actually true is the landing in Seattle, Washington, because there was witnesses there. Not just that the fact that he was there, but there was witnesses that there was alien there, because there were several military people on duty during the landing, like there is all of the time. So anytime they come down, it's not like just one person standing around. There's usually 50 or more. They're all hanging out. They're all scattered out in different places for different reasons, but they're there. So they actually see the event. So it's there was a lot of cover stories that were written about it. And the problem is figuring out there's 5 stories about it. Only one of those 5 stories is actually true. Which one it is? Y'all can. You can flip by different information. Different things can flip you different ways when new information comes in. So
absolutely,
we're just going to leave it alone and hope for the best.
We are out of time.
We're going to send Jay out there. That's what we're going to do.
We are so out of time right now. Joe, Jay, thank you again. Thank you so much for coming on. and being guests and talking about UFOs and aliens. It was a great show. A lot of people had good questions out there. And real quick, Joe, where can people find you?
On the internet.
Thank you, Heidi. Oh, you're an ass. You're the biggest ass in the world.
You can also find me on TV too. I mean, I'm on TV too. But speaking of that, we got new television channels coming in. Y'all gonna all be loving this kind of stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, you'll be able to see the little hairs growing out of Sean's nose and stuff on this. So y'all see that. But I'm always on every Wednesday. I'm on UFO Undercover. Jay and I just talking about aliens. Fridays, the three of us are usually talking about some kind of news related stuff. We do have a show coming up with Michelle on RH negative DNA in the near future. And
is it this Wednesday or is it next?
No, it's going to be on Friday. It's going to be on Friday.
Oh, Friday. Okay.
So it won't be on this Friday because we won't be on UFO.
Thank you, ladies.
But I'll let you know. But anyway, y'all can come check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. And then Saturdays, I'm here hanging out with the guys. And John. I'm with John Goodman earlier in the day, and then with the boys later in the evening.
Yeah. How about you, Jay? Where they can find you at?
Well, again, Wednesday, UFO Undercover with Joe. Fridays, I used to split duties with Wham. She's taken off from our show. We got some new guest hosts coming in to fill in gaps here and there. But Fridays usually Church of Mavis, and then news on the flip side. Saturday, Church of Mavis. It says so underneath. Church of Mavis Fridays 8-7 Central, and then Saturdays to chat with you and Joe.
You know it, brother. Okay, everybody.
Yeah, see, we're going to get banned this week.
Joe, yeah, we might be. Joe and Jay, thank you again. Everybody, I'm pulling the cards. I shuffled them while I was listening to Joe and Jay talk. So here it is, everybody. The card is, it's
a monkey.
Black Panther. The Black Panther.
Oh, cool.
And when I see this card, it's very mysterious. It hides in the trees. It camouflages itself. You're walking around trying to figure out who can I attack next. My word to you is, well, what I should say is don't attack anybody. Just observe like the Black Panther does. Okay, children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And please protect the children. And on that note, everybody, good night.
Feed it to the aliens, whatever comes first.
On that note, good night, everybody, and we will see you Tuesday night. Good night.